Hey everyone, I'm Linford from Reality Crafts, and in this video I'm gonna show you how I did my longboard out of a piece of solid wood. So for the wood that I wanted to use for my board, I took a little bit of time to think about what kind of wood I wanted to use, because I wanted a board that would last for a really long time. So I chose this wood called Vera wood, also known as Argentine lignum vitae, and this wood is an extremely hard wood. And just to gauge, woods that are used for your typical longboards are made of maple and birch. Maple is around 1450 in the Junker hardness chart. Vera wood is 4500, which is about 3 times as hard as maple. So I'm sure that this board will last for a really long time. So the dimensions for my longboard were, the length was gonna be about 100 centimeters and the widest width will be somewhere around 25 centimeters. So the lumber that I got came in 2 pieces. That means I had to glue the middle together because the tree trunk of the tree has a very small diameter. Therefore getting a larger lumber will be quite difficult to get. So I had to make do with what I have. So these 2 pieces of wood, I have to glue them in the middle. So I have to try many different types of glue to see if I can get a reliable glue joint, because this wood is very oily, so it might pose a problem when it comes to gluing it. So the first glue I tried was Gorilla Glue. It's a polyurethane glue and has to be activated by water. So I sanded the sides on a piece of scrap and I sanded it with 80 grit. I wiped it with acetone and then glued it up. Acetone is to remove the oil that's on the layer so that it's nice and clean and will form a good glue joint. So unfortunately the glue joint didn't work. So next I tried Type Bond 3, and Type Bond 3 is considered one of the higher grades of glue. So I tried that again and I did the same way. I sanded it and wiped it with acetone, and it took quite an amount of pressure. I wasn't able to split the joint with my hands, but when I clamped it to the vise and used a pair of pliers, it took a very little bit amount of force and it broke. So next I tried super glue, and super glue works only for small pieces, and if I were to glue a huge surface area like 2 sides of the longboard, it would set up too quickly. So I just tried super glue for fun, and you see the super glue actually holds up quite well. So lastly I tried Evo Stick, which is considered a very good glue, considered one of the really strong ones, and even says on the bottle stronger than the wood itself. So I tried that and it seems to hold up really well. It took me a lot of force before I broke the glue joint, so I went ahead and used Evo Stick instead. So in order to make the joint stronger, I used this type of wood joinery called a tongue and groove, in which it consists of a tongue and a small little slot for the tongue to sit in. So I did not know how to do a tongue and groove, so I had my friend Mujahid help me cut the tongue and groove on the table saw. So once the tongue and groove has been cut, all I have to do now is to just sand the tongue and the slot with a 80 grit sandpaper just to rough it up so that the glue has something to grip on, as well as wipe the tongue and slot with acetone so that to remove the initial oil, so that the glue will no issues with the oiliness. And then all I have to do now is secure the 2 pieces together, clamp it up, and then let it dry for 24 hours.